Well, hello there, Capricorn. Welcome to Pirate Readings. I'm Lady J, and I'm here to talk to you about what's going on for the 5th through the 11th of January. You are having some really cool things going on for yourself where you're starting to maybe notice some new insights while you're standing around in the store talking to your friends, and then suddenly you realize you're getting information about the other people in front of you. Oops. And they're not even talking to you. So now you have information from somewhere else incoming, and you're like, okay, what do I do with that? Not much. I want you to just be aware of it, and then make contact. I will help you with this. This is private stuff. This is stuff that you need to take into consideration, but not share with other people. It will become awkward and strange for the other people as well as yourself. If you don't know why you know it or why it's information you're getting, then it becomes very awkward in the store while you're having this conversation. So we want to just sort of keep that in mind and know that as you're an open channel, you're getting information through your 7th chakra, and that is not unheard of, but it is something that you need to work on and figure out how to control your 7th chakra, okay? I'm probably going to start doing some meditations. That would be a whole nother section of my channel where you could go in and learn how to meditate and also control your chakras and create better boundaries for yourself as well as others. All right, so things to look for in the future. I'll keep you posted, but by all means do be aware that you are an open channel and new information will be incoming. Don't use that information, it's not yours. And don't talk to them about it, okay? They will find it very awkward. I have 3 cards in front of me from the overview video. We do have messages from my better angels that are completely outside of this other stuff. And we're talking about how you need to stand in your confidence this month of January. So stand in who you are, what you are, and what you're doing, and know that you know your stuff, okay? Cool. And then even as you're standing in your confidence, you're like, yes, I know all of these things. But I'm also working on this thing, which I don't know about, and I know that I don't know it. So, because I know that I don't know it, I can actually ask questions and ask for help. Because that's what we do. When we're doing it properly, we ask for help in all the right directions, and we take care of ourselves. It's great. So we are indeed in that position to reach out and ask for help, but we also have to be aware that we're not helping other people unless they ask for it. So we're staying in our own lane. That means for us and for you that if somebody doesn't ask for help, we can't help, all right? We have to wait for them to ask. So it's like watching your little kid fall down on his bicycle, which is always difficult, but it is part of the process of learning, and you have to just let them fumble through that. Those bumps and bruises teach you so much that you can't get out of a book, and it's just that weird little thing that you have to just get into and get on with it, and it becomes quite normal and quite natural, okay? And that's why they say it's just like riding a bike, because you can't forget once you've got it, okay? So we're going to wait for other people to ask for help, and we are going to stay in our own lane, but we're going to stand in confidence, knowing that if we do need more help, we should ask for it ourselves. Other people will be watching us. All right, so let's look at these 3 cards. So these are the 3 cards from the overview video. And we're going to go ahead and add these cards to that. We are going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot to expand on this reading so that we know what's going on, right? Let's go deeper into this week, all right? So, the Knight of Pentacles is talking about fighting for your worth and value this week. We remember we were offered a job last week, but now you're like, I'd like to work this out. If I'm thinking about going back, I want to make sure that I'm getting paid properly, as you should. Definitely, because you're thinking like, okay, well, I want to do this, and I want to do it in strength. So if I go back to the old job, I want to do it in strength. Your judgment is going to be on par. So make sure that you're using all the information you have. Don't be afraid to call other people you know who work for that person and ask a few questions about what the typical deal is and all that stuff. That way you have inside information that maybe he doesn't even know, your new old boss wouldn't know that you actually asked about. And maybe that's why maybe they are trying to pull the wool over your eyes and give you less money than the other people for whatever reason. Don't let that happen. Dun, dun, dun. Work out your deal, because everybody makes their own deals, okay? Now then, the world is showing that you will be starting something, but you'll also be completing something. So if you do decide to go and take this job, this old job back, you'll be starting that. And you'll also be releasing the other thing that you've been working on that's kept you busy in the meantime, okay? So you'll be closing one door and starting another. This may or may not be the thing that's happening for all of you. And in some cases, if some of you are like, hey, new opportunities are opening up for me, I am deciding whether or not I want to make sure I'm getting paid more. If they're going to ask me to do more, all right, use your better judgment. And if maybe you're just expanding your schedule from a few days a week to 5 days a week, you're going to get paid for it. You're going to get paid properly for it, and then you'll start, okay? Same idea, same concept, only not really going into the old times, but realizing that, yes, it's a different job. It's a different job entirely. All right, remember, there won't be a whole lot of choices about this situation. You'll either say yes or you'll say no. This isn't really a lot of many options out in front of you, okay? So be aware that looking for options or having more options will confuse you and stop you from moving forward. So, yeah, I'm rating this more as a lack of options than that the options are slowing you down, okay? So I don't see you having a lot of options this week, okay? And you're not really able to have a strong financial foundation right now this week, so just sort of save what you got. Don't overspend this week. This week is going to be one of those times when you really want to pay attention to your finances and make sure you're not overspending, okay? Take good care of yourself. You can and you should, all right? Oh, yeah, the sun. The sun is here saying, nope, we're not starting anything this week. There are no new beginnings, which makes me say that with the world here, this is all about finishing something else up. So you're going to close the door on something. You won't be starting anything. This is like a week, the week in between, where you're like, I'm going to finish this job this week, and then maybe next week we'll start something. Okay, so yeah, you're not starting anything. There are nothing new is coming down the pike for you. This is the Sun card. You're not in a position to move forward in that way, okay? The Queen of Wands, this is a like-minded lady who's going to keep your brain from freaking out, because you're like, oh man, I like have a week. I finish one job, close the door, pick up my stuff, and do my thing, and then I have a week off. Ah, no money coming in, freaking out. Okay, this person is here to say, you're doing okay, everything's fine. Don't freak out, you're okay. You're like, but, you're fine. The Strength card is here reminding you that one more time, you did indeed work through some old limiting belief. And now you are still working through that limiting belief. The one that tells you you're not going to be okay if you're not working every single day of your life. The one that tells you that however you were doing it was wrong. Or the one that told you you were never going to go back, right? That's that one that we talked about last week. So you may still be fighting with that one that told you, I would never go back, I would never go back, I would never go back. Guess what? You're going back, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll be a person who knows stuff when you get there, and that's going to be okay too. We have the Queen of Swords. So we had the Queen of Wands over here, who's real calm and chill and helping you stay grounded. And then we have this other lady who wants everything done her way, who's going to be particular about every little thing. She might be the paperwork lady who's saying, you haven't filled out your forms properly. You haven't done all the things you need to do. You need to go take that stuff and get all your stuff up to date. And so she's going to be super particular about how you fill out your paperwork, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you need to handle it, okay? And for those of you who decided that you weren't going to be leaving the other job but expanding yourself into this new job or the current job and making it bigger, you may just have to really take a week off in between to close the door on one position and step into the next. They might need a few days for you to take a few days off before you start the new thing, okay? That's why you're not starting anything yet, okay? Just be aware of that. let's go ahead and get you a closing card, right? We're going to get that closing card going for you so that we can see what is coming up for you. One last message. Oh, it's right here somewhere. I feel that one. All right. So let's see what you got, Capricorn. Ooh, wisdom. Ta-da! You're going to be doing this whole demolly. This whole thing is coming from a place where you really kind of do know what's happening. You know what's coming down the pipe. You're like, oh yeah, I've seen all this before. You've been down this path. You understand. It's not new. It's not interesting, really. It's kind of boring in its own special way. But you're definitely up for the challenge, and it's not a big deal. So you'll be able to approach it and go, yeah, okay. I've seen it, I understand it, I've seen it, I understand it, fine. It's one of those things that comes with, I dare say, age, that once you've seen things, you're like, okay, you can't really surprise me. I've seen some really crazy stuff, so whatever you got isn't gonna get me at all, okay? So you do you, and I'll be not surprised, okay? Cool. So this is cool. Let's get you a pocket full of rocks, okay? Very nice. All right, cool. We have pyrite, we have aventurine, and we have green fluorite. Very cool. Love that. So we're talking about pyrite. Pyrite is protecting you. It's kind of an all chakra stone, so it doesn't have a specific place to be. I just keep it down at the bottom, figuring it's like at your soul star, and it's like all the way around your body. Okay, so you are protected 100% all the way. Nothing bad can come towards you at this time or can come into your space. So you have protection. Good job. Aventurine is all about your higher heart, which is just above your 4th chakra and below your 5th chakra. So you're in that department listening to your soul. And your soul is saying, hey, check this out. This is how it's feeling, and this is how it's going, and I really want it to be heard. Are you listening to my voice? Are you hearing my soul? What does my soul want me to do? Listen. Listen to the voice of your soul. And we have fluorite, which is a green fluorite. So it hangs out here with the higher heart as well. And it's helping you maintain focus. Be clear, be understood, and use all the knowledge you have from before to the knowledge you have now. Work through this situation. If it doesn't fit for you to go back to that gig, don't go back to it, right? Make a solid decision that you're not going to go back to that gig, that you might expand on the current gig that you have and make it do more for you instead of continuing to go back to something that if you know something is like a thorn in your side, then you may not want to go to it, even though it might have adventure written all over it, which we talked about last week. Be careful. Just weigh out all the options before you jump into something that you know is exactly the way you left it, all right? It's exactly what it was before. Yes, it changes, and check those pros and those cons, because you have checked the pros and cons before, and the cons outweighed the pros on multiple occasions. Now, think it through. Has it really changed? Has it really changed? And is it really that different? Or is it exactly the same? Pay attention. Careful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these rocks down here. You don't have to carry these rocks if you don't want to, right? So if you want to carry these rocks and you want to comment below what's going on with you and how they work for you, that's great. I would love to have a communication with you about that, a conversation. If you want to carry something different, by all means, comment below. Let me know what's going on. We'll have a conversation about that. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, well, you might miss a video. That would be terrible. So like and subscribe. It helps my little tiny baby channel grow. I really appreciate the one and the all of you. You all matter to me, and I want to help you all see what's coming up, and then you can be ready to go for what's coming in the next week. All right? Thank you so much for being here. We'll talk to you next week about the 12th through the 18th. Thank you.